You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are four Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Me ένα όνειρο τρελό. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
What's happening, guys? We're Gate 7 International, your number one English source for all things Olympiacos. We're back for another one, this time bringing you the latest transfer news after our lackluster performance yesterday against Panathinaikos in the derby of eternal enemies, ended in a 0-0 bore draw. There is movement in the Olympiacos camp since the morning, and the names that are coming up are Joao Carvalho. He's been in and out of the transfer rumours and stories the last few seasons. And Vasilis Zagaritis, former Panathinaikos left-back, is also gaining some traction in terms of covering that left-back position together with Oleg Ryabchuk. We've got a special guest with us today from the Nottingham Forest camp, a big fan of Nottingham Forest that we've spoken to in the past before. But before we get into that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you always get your regular Olympiacos updates from Gate 7 International. We go live after matches. We do previews for European games. We organise interviews like the one today. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss the next episode of Gate 7 International, your international home for the red and white legend, by the fans, for the fans, Θρύλος παντού. Now, getting into this nitty-gritty, there are fresh links for Zοαo Καρβάλιο to join Olympiacos. Again, he's a player that's been linked with the club before, plays as a creative midfielder, number 10 or deep-lying number 8. Nottingham Forest fans are going to tell us more about him. Perhaps what we're looking for, the creativity being severely lacking in the last few games. 0 shots on target yesterday. We don't know what state Fortounis is going to return in when he does come back in February. Aguibu Kamara is away at AFCON, the African Cup of Nations, until the end of the month. He also has an ankle injury that the Guinea team said would keep him out for 2 to 3 weeks. That needs to be confirmed when he comes back. So there is a big gap in that number 10 position. We've been severely lacking creativity. Could Joao Carvalho be the one to solve our creative problems in the middle of the park? Now, the story started this morning with Kostas Nikolakopoulos writing in the popular Olympiacos daily Kokinos Protathlitis that Olympiacos were looking into Joao Carvalho again, and Vasilis Zagaritis was turning up to be the number one option now for left-back cover. So from our own sources from the UK, we have learned today, again, from our sources, that this is a done deal for Carvalho, and that we should have already learned news about this today, but he is expected to sign by the end of this week. So Monday today, by Sunday, according to our sources, he should be in Athens to sign for the club. Now, without further ado, I'm going to bring on our special guest, Mr. Dore.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm not too bad, man. Good to be back on this channel. Talk about the Nottingham Forest. Your big brother club.
Yeah, man. It's good to talk again. I think last time we spoke was when you signed Mohamed Dräger. But
don't talk about it.
For you.
He's not even played. We don't know where he is. I don't know where he is. He's not played one game for us.
Is he playing in the under-23s, like with the reserves, or what?
He's played one game. One game for under-23s, and nowhere to be seen. But
okay,
I don't know. And it wasn't even like he played 60 minutes, and it was his first game, rusty and all that. But nah, we're not seeing him. I know he's on international duty, and that. So, but
he's gone off with Tunisia to AFCON
again,
Okay.
again. So yeah, we're not seeing him at all.
So he is in fact alive then.
He is alive. He is alive, but nowhere to be seen on the pitch.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I can tell you that Olympiacos fans have been following the developments at Nottingham closely. Like you said, there is a brotherly relationship there, and I'm personally very happy to see you guys starting to turn it around with this new coach that came in. Seems to be doing a hell of a lot better than what was it, the old Tottenham coach that you had? Was it Chris
Hughton?
Yeah. So very glad to see you guys are turning it around. I see Marinakis' son Miltiadis is posting a lot on social media as well recently. And what was it? Against Arsenal, you guys turned into Olympiacos. Every time that Arsenal play against the team that's owned by Vasilis Marinakis, they have some upsets. So there was a good bit of banter about that in Greece. I can tell you that before, mate. There was a lot of banter when you guys knocked out Arsenal.
Wow. Sure. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But I will ask you some questions about how you guys are doing and how happy you are with things going on and the promises that were made, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But of course, I want to ask you about Zoao Carvalho. What are your thoughts? I looked at his stats this season, and I saw a player that's played 8 games for you this season, 2 90-minute games, one of those against Bradford in the EFL where he scored 2 goals, another appearance, a third appearance as a starter where he came off in the 45th minute against Derby, and then the rest as kind of cameo subs where he didn't do anything. 0 goals, 0 assists. And I know that we're talking about a player that came from Benfica, highly tipped, like a technically gifted, diminutive, like attacking midfielder. What happens? Like, what's happened to him?
Where can I start? Like I said, he played a full 90 minutes against Bradford, and he scored 2. And he played all right. He wasn't fantastic, but he played all right. Then he played against Derby. He started, and then took off second half because he just wasn't in the game. And when you got to play like with Zoao Carvalho, what he does, he makes things happen. He sets goals up, and he make 1 or 2 goals, but it's just not been him. It's just not been him all season. And like I said, he's made 2 cameo appearances off the bench, and he's not done nothing. And it's Forest fans. We want any player to play good, because I know he's got this £30 million price tag on him from Benfica, but he hasn't done no, and it's just a bit disappointing. On like I said, with Steve could come in, like every Forest player's stepped up, but Zoao Carvalho, like I said, he's not like I said, he's made 2 appearances, but he's just not been him. He's just not got a star at all for us. But is it sad? Not really. For me, opinion, like some Forest fans will be sad, especially the young generation. But for me, he just hasn't worked out from it at all. So, am I surprised he's been linked with you lot? Not really. So, it is what it is. Like I think it's time to go for Zoao Carvalho.
It's a transfer story that's done the rounds. A couple of, I think, definitely last summer, the summer before that, maybe even the January transfer window before this one. The name always pops up, and I think it was close to happening. Was it last year or in the summer? But he didn't want to come, and he ended up at Malaga, I think, playing in the 2nd division in Spain. Again, I looked at his numbers.
Was it Almeria? No, Almeria. He went to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Almeria.
So he went to Segunda Division in Spain. His numbers weren't great. Now he's back at Forest, and I think this time it's different in a sense that a lot of people are asking the question: is this still happening so that we can help Carvalho, or is this still happening so that Carvalho can help Olympiacos? Because Olympiacos have a need in that position, like I was saying earlier. And I think the answer to that question is it's a bit of both, and that's why I think this is going to happen. And I do believe that our sources, of course, very credible, telling us that this signing will go through this week. I think, if you look at it both ways from the perspective of the player and the club, it's kind of a win-win this time. So I expect that this time is going to be different. He'll come over. In terms of the formation that you guys play, I mean, we're talking about a player that, as far as I know, he's really like a number 10. He likes to play a free role behind the striker. Yeah. He likes to drift, wherever he wants to, get close to the ball, get in on the action and make things happen, like you said. So, have you been playing that formation this year? It's been more of a 4-4-2 you guys play, if I'm not mistaken. So does he not fit into your system?
Like when Steve Cooper come in, like we started with 3-5-2. Then we sometimes we can play 4-2-3-1. But as you mentioned, like Carvalho, he's at number 10, and he's just not been playing in that role. Like he'll come off the bench, and I'll mention he played against, I think it was Hull, and that. And you expect, like when you're winning, when you're on top of the game, you expect Carvalho to do something. Like defensive wise, especially against Hull, like people don't expect him to do defensive work, but he did okay. Mm-hmm. But going forward, that's what Forest fans want. We want him to see creative football, make something happen, because that's what he does. He makes something happen, and he hasn't done it, and that's what. And I'll mention another Olympiacos player, Cafu, that we've got at Forest, and he's done, like, Cafu is not on number 10.
Yeah.
And he's done more work than Carvalho in that role.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, like, for myself, I'm not talking on behalf of Forest fans because they'll say different things about Joao. He just hasn't done it in that role for us. And, like, it's just like, we don't want to be disrespectful to the player because he's in a Forest badge. But
yeah.
Him going to Olympiacos, is it because I personally think we need players for ourselves to balance the books. So if you look at it, he's just going there just to you can say you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Balance the books, and that's how it is. I'm being honest and truthful, but it just he's been linked with Olympiacos so many times, hasn't it? Like you mentioned. He didn't want to go to Olympiacos last season. You had was it Tiago? You had Tiago Silva, I think it was like, and do you think it'll work at Olympiacos? I personally don't think it will, and that's me because, as you mentioned, he went to Amere last season, and that didn't work out for him. So I really don't know. Like, I hope he does. But he's a nice guy off the pitch. But on the pitch, he hasn't done nothing, and that's me being honest.
You mentioned Tiago Silva, and I think remember talking to you and other Forest fans last year, and I remember Forest fans being pretty pissed about this. Like, Tiago being seen as a decent squad player by Forest, and at Olympiacos, I have to say that I don't think he ever got a proper run in the team. Consecutive games. But I mean, he left in the summer, I think pretty much for a free, and went to Guimarães. I haven't followed him since then. But what would you say are the comparisons or the differences between Tiago and Zοαo Καρβάλιο? I always imagined Tiago Silva as being a number 8, like a clear kind of central midfield player that needed some more strong presence around him, but that someone who was quite nippy, low center of gravity, can get the ball forward, decent technique. How are they similar and how are they different?
When Tiago Silva, when he played under Sabri Limucci, people assumed Tiago Silva wasn't number 10. Like you just mentioned, you play alongside a defensive midfielder. If you play that to 4-2-3-1, Silva, if I remember, he scored 4 goals and 4 assists in that whole season. Joao Carvalho, I don't think he scored one. Like, he got injured. Joao Carvalho got injured at the start of the season in a friendly, and because he got injured, Tiago Silva played as more of a number 10 role, and he got game time, loads of game time. And would I compare them two together? When it comes to technical wise, Joao Carvalho, I think, is ahead of Silva. But if you see it, was I upset when Silva left? Not really, because he wanted to leave Nottingham.
Yeah.
He wanted to leave Nottingham to go to Greece. So I wasn't cheesed off with it. Like, don't get me wrong, Silva will do some assists and all that, but Joao Carvalho is a little bit in front of Silva, but comparing both of them, Carvalho is a little bit in front of him. I don't know, but it is what it is. But yeah,
it's interesting you mentioned the numbers, though. I mean, you're saying 4 goals and 4 assists in the Championship for a Portuguese player is not bad. Carvalho's numbers not being as good as Tiago's, and Tiago being a flop at Olympiacos. I don't know. I think
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, because when Joao Carvalho came to Forest the first season under Anto Crankia, he was fantastic as at number 10. Like, it was him, and he had a good link up with our main striker, Lewis Grabban. He was fantastic, setting goals up, entertaining the Forest fans, and that. And like I said, I mentioned when he got injured under Sabin Limucci, it was a bad injury, and since then he's just not been the Joao Carvalho as Forest fans know. And when you've got a 13 million club transfer record, there's going to be pressure on to be successful at the club. But it's just not been him at all, and it's a shame. It's a shame that it's got to happen. And but I'm personally being polite towards him, and that's my opinion. It's true, because
I can detect that. Yeah,
yeah, I'm being polite. If you're looking at this, Forest fans watching this, and they'll just say, "Dore, you're being nice to him," because he just wasn't. Right, I mentioned that there's a comment about Forest. Tiago Silva was more of a tough battler to Joao Carvalho. Joao Carvalho is not a person that can bully someone in that midfield, and that's what Forest fans were frustrated with him, because, like, again, we mentioned about Joao Carvalho. He's a kind of player that can play fantastic when there's no pressure, if you know what I mean. So
that's interesting, because I mean, we're talking about a high pressure club like Olympiacos, where you're expected to win every single game in every single competition, like week in, week out. And the more I listen to you, the more it sounds like it's a player that, if you look at it from a football manager kind of perspective, he's got fantastic attributes from a technical perspective. And then when you look at mental attributes and work rate, determination, they're like below 10. Well, that's what it sounds like to me.
It is. This is why I wanted Des on. I don't know where Des is, because Des will say the brutal honest about it. Because I said this, so was like when Joao Carvalho, everyone thought, yes, 13 million man can play, because as Forest fans, we wanted that number 10. And when we heard from Benfica, yes, he's going to be a fantastic player. But all around, if you look at it, it's just been a waste of space. And right now, with Forest playing fantastic under Steve Cooper, there's not a chance.
He's not going to find a way in the team, is he? Like,
no chance. Not like Forest fans thought, like, when he was on loan to Almeria last season, like I said, he didn't even play good for them. It wasn't even great for him. And Forest fans assuming, he's to come back under new management. Yeah, it's going to be a different new Joao Carvalho. And no, and like it's frustrating, and it's difficult with Joao Carvalho not setting the heights. But like I said, the price tag is not his fault. Yeah, it just hasn't been up for us. So yeah.
But I mean, the price tag is what it is, and now looking at his valuation, at least according to Transfermarkt, we're looking at a player that's worth 2.2 million euro now, whose contract is ending 2023. So next season, he's got another year left. So I mean, you alluded to this earlier on, and okay, let's state the obvious things now and be clear about it. When we talk about transfer fees and whether something's a transfer and whether it's a loan, when it has to do with Olympiacos and Nottingham Forest, let's just say it's an undisclosed fee or whatever it is. There's been a
10
lot
million.
of
We'll take 10 million for him. Olympiacos, we'll take 20 million. 20 million for him. We'll take it.
Let's give a call to the president now and ask him, like,
just call him. Geez, Mr. Makonakis, can we have some 20 million for your man? We'll take him. Something about that. That's disgraceful, man.
But do you think this is one of those things where, I mean, for the owner of the clubs, is one of those things where he's balancing the books? Like you guys, like you said, you're looking to possibly make some transfers, bring in some reinforcements to help you push for a promotion spot.
Yeah, it's 100%. Because, like I said, we've got manager that's come in, and he wants to bring his own ideas, and then let's say we brought two quality players. We kept 3 quality players. We kept 1. We want to buy 2 more, but with the FFP, that will always try and get to us. But we've got to balance the books, and if we can get, I don't know, a few pennies for Joao to get the 2 extra players, then why not get to playoffs at least? But whatever. If Mr. Marinakis can give us at least 20 million for Zagaritis, Carvalho, he's worth it. He's worth it. And we'll give it 20 million, and then we can bounce the box.
Well, I'm not too encouraged with what you've said. But again, I think both our clubs, they're clubs that appreciate players that play with passion, that put that extra work rate. Maybe a fresh start will do him good. There's a Portuguese manager at the club. There are more Portuguese speaking players here. He might be suited to the culture more. I don't know, but yeah, if you're saying that this is a guy that doesn't really like to press high up the pitch. I mean, we didn't talk about that. Does he press? Does he press as a number 10, or is he lazy?
No. Sometimes he will, but no. Okay. And that's it. Some Forest fans might disagree, and that's fine. But no. The thing about Tiago Silva, like people like, especially the young generation, because his name's Zao Carvalho. That's what everyone says, but he doesn't make me say it because he doesn't do nothing. And being like, you've got to work hard, and this is why the past Forest managers have not played him. So I don't know. Like I said, I want him to do well for Olympiacos, but
if he comes over here and he has a belter, you guys will be screaming at the end of the season about bring him back and.
Not me. I won't. Yeah. I won't. But I don't know. Where's Des? Where are you, Des? Des is more. There's Forest fans like.
So what Des isn't here. So but what would Des say about Joao Carvalho? He's your man.
Des will be more blunt. I'm on the fence.
More what?
Blunt. More blunt. Like it'll be more honestly. Like with me, I'm being honest about Joao Carvalho, but Forest fans are like, I'm this. Yeah. This is like this, further down.
Yeah.
And
so he's like, get rid.
Yeah. I want him to do well at Olympiacos. I personally don't think he'll start for Olympiacos, and that's my honest opinion on him.
I mean, we've also got a manager that whenever we bring new players in, it's very rare that he'll throw someone into a starting lineup. After signing, like if we do sign him, I won't be surprised to see him not play until February. To be quite honest, but again, like there is a lack in that position for us, creatively speaking. We're relying on a 37 going 38-year-old Mathieu Valbuena to do anything creative from a set piece or a cross from outside the box into one of the strikers. And it's just, you can't rely on a 37, 38-year-old starter, like a wonderful player. He's played more than 40 games for the French national team, but it's just, you can't rely on that anymore. So anyway, we'll see. I appreciate your insights on Joao Carvalho. I do want to ask you, like, more generally about, how things are going in Forest, and how do you see the Marinakis era so far? Do you still think that he can take you back to the Premiership? He did say when he joined not to expect immediate results. Are the fans running out of patience? Like, what's the vibe at Forest right now?
Well, let me be honest, right? With Marinakis, like, he's pumped in loads of money at Forest, so you can't blame the guy. And but the problem was, as you all know, Yanis, the Forest CEO, he was the problem. Because I don't know if you know, 2 seasons ago, like, we sold Matty Cash to Aston Villa for 16 million.
Great player.
Yep. And with Yanis, and Forest fans' comments, if you will definitely know, he was toxic at Forest. He wasn't getting along with Forest fans at all. And I think now he's back at Olympiacos now. I've done it for years. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think he's back at Olympiacos. Is he not back there?
He doesn't appear in any of the ecosystem, like, with us now. So I have no idea.
Well, we were told, like, because he was our CEO, and now because he's still a director at Forest, but he's not the CEO anymore. We've got a new CEO called Dane Murphy. Who's successful at his other clubs, and he's done a 10 times better job than Yanis, bringing players in, young players, hungry players that can play for the club. And the thing with Yanis was buying players who's already done it, who's paying so much wages for a player, like for a 32-year-old, who's getting 35k. And Forest fans thinking, why are you doing that, Yanis? Why are you doing that? Like, you don't need that. And I think us Forest fans wasn't happy with Marinakis. Like I said, Marinakis is pumped in so much money at Forest, and all Forest fans said, we don't need Yanis. Get rid of him. And it's happened. Murphy's come in. We put in Steve Cooper to replace Houghton, and the season's changed. And now this transfer window is open, and we've done our business earlier. And this is strange for Forest. We never do things earlier. We always do that end of the transfer window. This transfer window is important. And now, like I said, I touch on Carvalho again. I think with Zagaritis Carvalho possibly going to Olympiacos, that will free up funds for Marinakis to get this. I think we might need 1 or 2 players to push us up the league. Because, like I said, Steve Cooper, as Olympiacos fans will know, he's been fantastic for us. But it's not over yet. It's not over. And
you got like 9-10 points, I think, from the playoff spot.
About I think about 9 points were close. We're not far away. We're not far away from there. But
and you're at the halfway point as well.
Halfway point. But like, this win is important. And I think with Marinakis, like I said, he's pumped in so much money for Forest, and hopefully from now to the end of the season, we can get in the top 6. That's what we want, man. But it's going to be hard because other clubs like there's teams like Fulham, Bournemouth, Blackburn, big clubs as well. So if it's not this season, maybe next season. But right now we're doing fantastic. So only we can see what will happen.
Well, we hope it continues. You have at least 5 million out of the 10 million population of Greece rooting for you.
Yeah, all you Olympiacos fans, subscribe to Dore and Tom, man. That's what I want. I know there's a few Olympiacos in my comments, but yeah, Dore and Tom, it's here. I think it's here. Yeah.
It's underneath. If you look in the description, you'll find all the information, the links to Mr. Dore's YouTube channel. You can get all your news about what's going on at Nottingham Forest if you follow his channel.
And you'll be on my channel when it's official confirmed, won't it?
I hope so, mate. I hope so. You never know with transfers. Like you can sign like top player, and just no chemistry with the team for one reason or another, it doesn't work, and then it could be one that you're not expecting anything from, and you get a lot more. And that's actually perfect example. We've seen that this season. We bought in a player from Lille, from the French champions, from their academy, an African player from Guinea called Agibou Kamara. I think we paid 120,000 for him, just like so that they would let him go. His contract was ending. I think we paid like one of those fees for like youth training academy or whatever it is. Now Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever, like all the big clubs across Europe are looking at him, and he was supposed to go and play for our B team, and now he's our starting number 10 now. So you don't know. It's what you're saying about Carvalho might not sound so encouraging, but you just never know with these things.
I'm just being honest. That's what I'm saying. I'm just being honest, and but there's nothing I can say about. Like I said, he's a good bloke, Jack Carvalho, off the pitch. He'll talk to fans. Don't get me wrong, he'll talk to fans and interact with everyone. But it's just so.
What he does on the pitch. What he does on the pitch, though.
Yeah, it's what he does on the pitch. But like I said, for me, some Forest fans might disagree with me, but that's fine. That's fine. And he just hasn't been him. That's all I can say. Fine.
All right, mate. Is there anything else you want to say? Like anything you might want to ask us since you're on the channel?
Let me say, like I know, like I said, you. Most Forest fans want to know, right? What do I know Marinakis, he doesn't like really promote Forest on his social medias, but what's the vibe like in Greece? Like, do Olympiacos want Forest to do well? I know when I went to Olympiacos when Forest played them, there was fine about us, but some fans hate it because some people say Marinakis cares more about Forest than Olympiacos. But I disagree. I think he's more focused on Olympiacos than Forest. But what's your opinion on it?
I think Marinakis is first and foremost a businessman, and clearly he loves Olympiacos. Like it's in his veins, like it's in his family. So I think Olympiacos for him will always be number one. I think as a business investment, he wanted to venture into something in the UK. Nottingham Forest being a historic club, red and white as well. He's invested a lot of money, like you said, in the club. I hear there are talks about a stadium expansion as well. So
yeah, we're trying to smash down the main stand and improve it. Like that meant to happen. That meant to happen 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. But there was issues around local area. Yeah, there was issues, but hopefully, I think it should happen. Announce it soon to confirm that it can happen. But like I said, Marinakis he's put so much money into Forest and that, and hopefully this new main stand that's built can be done before we get to Premier League.
Yeah, look, like I said, I think Nottingham Forest was a smart investment for him. It shows that he has drive and ambition to take a project like this and get Nottingham Forest back to where they belong. Nottingham Forest has a huge name historically in Greece. If you talk to any football fans, like, okay, maybe not ones that are like under 20, but like anyone over 25, like that knows a thing or two about football, knows who Nottingham Forest are. Even if you've been playing in the Championship since Pierre Van Hooijdonk was your striker. What I remember from back in the day, Stan Collymore or whatever.
Stan Collymore, legend.
From any of the older people that are following this stream today, Stan Collymore, Pierre Van Hooijdonk, Peter Beardsley, did he play for Forest or was that?
No,
Newcastle? My bad. Anyway,
yeah,
but no. I think, like I said, primarily business project for Marinakis. It's a pride thing for him as well. Like, I mean, if he manages to get Nottingham Forest back into the Premier League, that's huge. That's
Hopefully.
huge for him, like both in terms of pride, but financially as well. Like it's massive. And for the fans, like from the fans' perspective, I think Olympiacos fans love it that we have a chairman that's also owning a championship team that wears the same colours. You know, I think like we love it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like when I went to Olympiacos, we know like before the game, there's quite a lot of us Olympiacos fans. Like it was happy to see us, and like I said, so I've got a vlog about it as well. And it was so great for seeing all the Olympiacos fans talking as well to him. I think I was on the channel. What's the Olympiacos channel? Something sports, I think it is. I don't know what it is now. Me and my mate was on their channel for the game. So I don't know what it was now. Some channel. But
you'll have to send that to me.
I will send it to you. It was mad. It was really good. But yeah, I loved it out there, and hopefully I can come there again. But like I love the food there and the stadium. I've got I've got Olympiacos top as well. I should have wore it, shouldn't I?
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
When Carvalho signs. When Carvalho signs.
Yeah, I'll wear it next time. But yeah, I'll definitely come. I'm definitely come back to Olympiacos if Forest play or not.
Yeah, mate. No, we'd be like delighted to have you back, and delighted to see Forest come back to Karaiskaki as well for another rematch. That was a good beginning.
We'll beat you this time. We'll beat you this time.
Yeah. I was going to say like that season, it was a good start. Like that game, and then it went on to be like that season was, I think, the best season we've had under this manager. So we need to make it an annual thing and see if it kind of sets us on the right course. But no jokes aside, thanks very much for making the time to come on the show. And
thanks for having me on.
Let's be in touch. Don't forget, guys, if you want to check out more about Nottingham Forest, like have a look in the description. You'll find all the information you need about Mr. Dore, and subscribe to his channel. Mate, thanks a lot. See you next time.
Right, peace and love. Thank you very much.
Bye. That's it, guys. So you heard the insights from Nottingham Forest fan. That's Mr. Dore. Not sure how encouraged I am, but like I said earlier, I mean, you never know with transfers. They can go one way or another. What we have heard, like I said earlier in the show, according to our sources, this player, Zοαo Καρβάλιο, set to sign for the club this week. Keep it locked. Keep eyes and ears open. We expect some news very soon on that story. Otherwise, we have one more piece of transfer news for you that relates to Vasilis Zagaritis, former Panathinaikos left back. He got in a disagreement about the renewal of his contract with Panathinaikos about a year ago, and that left him to move to Parma in Italy, and he has not been playing much, if at all, at Parma, and he's looking for a new home. Vasilis Zagaritis appears to be the number one choice to act as cover for Oleg Ryabchuk. That story is back in the headlines. There have been a lot of names for left back. Mawasa, who was touted in the summer, also another name that we've heard. We've heard a Georgian international left back. The media was saying, what was it? Martins is not sure about Zagaritis. Today it seems that that's what we're going for. So that's all we've got time for today, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss another episode of Gate 7 International, by the fans, for the fans. Thank you if you've made it this far. Keep it locked. I know Ari promised. He promised to have a deep dive for you on new signing Fadiga. That's coming up soon, and a lot more content. Stay locked, subscribe. See you next time. You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you will never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL, give us a subscribe on YouTube, or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.